So how about everybody else? How are you all? Nihal, Raghav, Rishabh.
I'm good, Mataji.
Good.
I'm good, Mataji.
Good. Okay, so we are going to the second chapter of Science of Self-Realization. There are some conversations and letters in the first chapter of Science of Self-Realization. Maybe when you have holidays, you can just go ahead and read that, or you can go and read the first chapter of Science of Self-Realization and come back and check with me if you have any questions, because I thought that we have discussed it in detail, all the concepts which Prabhupada has mentioned in that chapter. So when you get a winter break or when you get holidays, it might be a good opportunity for us to go and read. See, most of the times we listen to lectures. When we listen to lectures, we get one kind of a realization or understanding. If we want it to be deeper, and remember, we have to go and read also. So whenever you're listening on something, you go back and also read, then you will have your own way of expressing it. I won't say that you will have a different interpretation of it. We should not be doing that. But you will have a deeper realization and reflections from that. So you will be understanding it even more better. So because you all will be very busy in the weekdays when school is going on, holidays is a good opportunity for all of us to do some kind of study on all these subject matters. So now we go to second chapter of Science of Self-Realization, which is choosing a spiritual master. So do you all have an idea by now about spiritual master? Who is a spiritual master? Okay, Mihika raised her hand. Go ahead, Mihika.
So, Mataji, as far as I know, a spiritual master is compared to a mirror which leads us to Krishna. So we get the guidance of our spiritual master, so we could earn the bhakti of Krishna and go back to Krishna Golok Vrindavan.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Anyone else? Anyone else would like to share, or do they think about it? It's okay. We may not, if you are, you can share whatever you know, because there is no right or wrong. If we have it, if we don't know it, we will learn. If we know it, we will learn even more better. So this particular chapter, the second chapter, is choosing a spiritual master. So we'll go and look into this chapter. Who is a spiritual master? How to accept a spiritual master, and what do we get benefit when we accept a spiritual master. So many of you might not be already thinking about it, or maybe thinking about it already, that I will be choosing a spiritual master and I will be taking this path very seriously. So even if you are not in a position right now where you want to choose, or if you have already selected, so this particular chapter will help us and throw a light on all the questions that we may have or that someone else may ask us. Okay, so all of you know this sloka, right? Anybody wants to say this sloka?
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha.
Very good. Anyone else? Go ahead. Mihika?
Om Ajnanmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah.
Anyone else wants to say the sloka?
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Very good. Raghav, can you read the meaning of it?
Yeah. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my guru, my spiritual master, opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. The word ajnana means ignorance or darkness. If all the lights in this room immediately went out, we would not be able to tell where we or other things are sitting. Everything would become confused. Similarly, we are all in darkness in this material world, which is the world of tamas. Tamas or timira means darkness. This material world is dark, and therefore it needs sunlight or moonlight for illumination.
Hari Bol. So, Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my Guru, my spiritual master, opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. So, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Gurave Namaha means I offer my respectful obeisances. Namaha means offering obeisances. So, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Does anybody remember that sloka? The 9 parts of devotional service. Okay, go ahead, Mihika. If you remember, can you say that?
Mataji, I forgot the last line of it, but I remember the first 3.
Okay, how much ever you know,
Okay.
you can say that.
Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. And then there was something else.
Yes, you almost got it. Okay, I have Pratyush also. So, Sravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandhanam. What does that Vandhanam means? Vandhanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. So, these are the 9 ways of devotional service. So, Vandhanam is paying obeisances. So, this is something which we should be doing actually more with more presence of mind. So most of the times when we do this Vandanam, it is like casually, like, when we see a picture of Krishna, we will be just like this and we'll quickly go. It will be not even a minute or anything. We'll just do like this, we'll go. So this is only a physical, body-wise Vandanam. Like, if you're doing like this to anybody, saying Namaste or Namaha, it's just a body-wise one. So your mind, your body, mind, and soul all should be surrendering to the Krishna when you're paying your obeisances. So similarly here, when you're saying Sri Gurave Namaha, then you should also feel it from inside. It should not be just mechanically. So here, Namaha, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha, obeisances. So when we pay obeisances to the deities in our house, to the devotees, or to our Guru every day, it is that we are engaging ourselves in one of the processes of the devotional service. Is it difficult to pay obeisances? Does it take longer time? Do you have to know all the shlokas? You don't need to do also. If you can learn this shloka, this is good enough. If you don't even know that, you can just go and say, please accept my humble obeisances. That's it. Simple English words, 3-4 words. But you should have your heart, your mind there. You should not be thinking about something else, or you should not be doing it mechanically. You should be wholeheartedly doing it with your body, mind, intelligence, everything present there, and then you pay obeisances. So then it becomes one of the devotional service. So here, I was born in darkest ignorance, and my Guru, my spiritual master, opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances to him. So Ajnana word means ignorance or darkness. So if there is no moon or there is no sun, can you see anything in this world when there is no electricity? Don't think of the places where there is electricity. If you ever gone to any state parks or any parks where there are no street lights in the park or anything, it will be pitch dark. If there is no stars or on the new moon day, if you go, you can see that it will be very dark, because on the new moon day, moon won't be available. On the full moon day, you can see bright moon, and then you can. So this material world requires sun or moon to give light. Otherwise, we cannot see. Even though we have eyes, we all have eyes, but if you switch off the light, can you see? We can't see. It's not that we close our eyes, we can't see. Even if we open our eyes, if there is no illumination in this material world, we cannot see. So the sun and moon helps us to see the things in the right way in this world. Similarly, spiritual master, guru, also helps us to see the things in a right way, because we are all in ignorance. What is that ignorance? How come you say that I am in ignorance, Mataji? I'm very intelligent. Do you know that I get all A pluses in my class and I know to do everything? How can you call me ignorant? So let's know what is that kind of an ignorance that we are all in. So Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana. Jnana Anjana means eyes. Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmelitamena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. So let's see what is the ignorance that we are all having. We are all thinking we are very smart and intelligent, don't we? Don't we think, Rishabh, that we are smart and intelligent? Does anybody think that they are fools, stupids, ignorant? What do you think, Rishabh?
Yes.
We all think we are intelligent, right?
Yes.
So somebody comes and saying that you are, but here the shloka is saying that you need a guru, otherwise you cannot have knowledge. So what is this then? What do you think? I will not trouble you much. Let's go and find out. So the material world is the place where we need moon or sun for the light. But there is one more place, spiritual world. Okay, Mihika, you have something to say?
Mataji, I wanted to put my opinion, like how did we, like, we think we are intelligent, but like if we go back, how did we get all that knowledge? We got it from our teachers. So we basically do need a guru to learn the information, however intelligent you are.
Very good. So, but what is this intelligence here Krishna is talking about? Let's know about that. So tamas or timira means darkness. The material world is dark. So we are all in material world. Do you all agree with me or not? We are all in material world. So that means there is one more world which is spiritual. So we are in material world which is dark. Therefore it needs sunlight or moonlight. But how about spiritual world? Does spiritual world also need sun and moon there? Rishabh, go ahead. You raised your hand.
Yes, it does. I mean, no, because in the material world, like our eyes are closed, and the guru opens your eyes.
Okay, I mean to say, what about spiritual world? I'm asking, do we need sun and moon in spiritual world?
No.
So no. So where? How are you saying that we don't need? Do you have any reference? Okay, Mihika, do you have any reference?
Mataji, I don't remember, but I remember, like, as far as I remember, was I heard it in the lecture that we think that Krishna's brightness is that much that it lights the whole world instead of the sun and the moon.
Very good. Raghav, you want to say something? I saw you raising your hand.
I don't think that the spiritual world has any sun or moon, because Krishna is self-illuminating and he illuminates the whole world.
Very good. So let's see. So if somebody is asking us, all your answers are right, but you should also remember the reference for that. Where did Krishna say that the spiritual world does not need sun or light? So this is the sloka, 15.6. 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita explains everything about the spiritual world, about Supreme Person Krishna, and that chapter is in itself is very complete. That's it's called that Purushottama chapter. So that supreme, Nata, okay, and who wants to read this sloka? I have Raghav reading the first one. So, okay, I see Mihika raising. Okay, go ahead and read the sloka.
Okay, Mataji. Na tad bhashayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yad gatva na nivartante tad dhama paramam mama.
Translation also, can you read?
That supreme abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. The Guru's business is to bring his disciples from darkness to light. At present, everyone is suffering due to ignorance, just as one contracts a disease out of ignorance.
So, Nathad Basayate Suryo. So, Krishna is saying in the 15th chapter that I don't need Surya or I don't need Shashanka. Shashanka means moon. I don't need Nathad Basayate Suryo. I don't need the Surya, na Shashanka, the moon, nor Pavakaha. Pavaka is fire. Fire also gives us light, right? If you lit a fire in the forest, that kind of shows you some kind of a light. Or an electricity. Prabhupada translates that nicely like electricity, like because we need electricity for us to see in this material world. Yet, where, gatva, going, na, never, nivartante, they come back, tadhama, paramam. So Krishna is saying in 15.6, that supreme abode of mind is not illumined by sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. So this material world is full of darkness and ignorance. We are ignorant of something very basic. What is that? We also discussed in our previous chapter, but we will also discuss here. Spiritual world is a place where we don't need anything to light up. It is self-illuminating, and those who go there will not commit. So what is this has to do with respect to Guru? We are talking about Guru here. So the Guru's business is to bring his disciples from darkness to light. So if, let's say, you all are going to school, so you have different kinds of subjects, math, science, geography, like that. So before you go in the beginning of the grade, you may not be knowing something about that subject matter. But once you complete the course, you know about it now. Like you may not be knowing before about immigration. Like in third grade, they do the immigration thing. Or like they may be doing about the United States, the different, the 52 states that we have. So before going to that class, you may not be knowing anything about it. You are ignorant of it. You don't have any idea how many states US has, what are the capitals, which state is what. But once you go and finish that course, you will have full knowledge of it if you pay attention to your teacher. If you pay attention to your teacher, you'll get full knowledge of it. So your teacher's duty is to give you knowledge about that subject and bring you from darkness to light, ignorant to knowledgeable. So similarly, the Guru's, the spiritual master's primary business is to bring his disciples from darkness to light. The spiritual master's primary business should not be material business. Like, he should not be thinking of constructing big buildings or earning a lot of money or anything. His primary business should be bringing his disciples from darkness to light. So all of us right now are in ignorance. So we need a spiritual master who can help us, guide us to come out of this ignorance and take us from this material world, which is full of darkness, to the spiritual world where we belong actually. We talked about it in the first chapter of Science of Relization. That is our real home. Right now, we left our home and we are living in an alien world. Material world here is an alien world. Does that sound very funny for anyone? Actually, we are not really these bodies that we are seeing. We are actually spiritual, divine people. But because we are trapped in the bodies, we became material and we are actually living in an alien world. This world is not our house. Our house is the spiritual world. But we have come here. So the spiritual master will help us to take from here to there. So let's go to the next one. So what is the kind of ignorance? What is the kind of suffering? What is the problem living in this material world? Why we have to think of going to the spiritual world? I'm happy. I'm hungry. My parents are giving me food. I wanted to watch TV. I wanted to entertain myself. I have books to read, TV to watch. I have friends to talk. So what is the problem? I don't have any problem really, Mataji. What is the problem that you're talking about? And why do I even should plan to go to the spiritual world? I'm happy here. I am getting whatever I want. Thank Krishna, you're all getting whatever you want. But there is something which we all have to pay attention to. What is that? There are three types of sufferings in this material world for anybody. What are that? So the guru's business is to see that no human being suffers in this material world. What is the first point, the guru's business? First point is that guru has to bring his disciples from darkness to light. And what is the second one? The guru's business is to see that no human being suffers in this material world. So that is the next duty of a guru. So no one can claim. Pratyush, can you read this? Can you read this slide?
Which line, Mataji?
This one, the one that I'm showing on the screen. Can you see?
Okay. Yeah, where your cursor is.
Oh, where is my cursor? I don't see. So can you read from here in the material world?
Okay. In this material world, there are three kinds of sufferings: adhyatmika, adi bhautika, and adi daivika. These are miseries arising from the material body and mind, from other living entities, and from the forces of nature. We may suffer mental anguish, or we may suffer from other living entities, from ants and mosquitoes or flies, or we may suffer due to some superior power. There may be no rain, or there may be a flood. There may be excessive heat or excessive cold. So many types of suffering are imposed by nature. Thus, there are three types of miseries within the material world, and everyone is suffering from one, two, or three of them. No one can say that he is completely free from suffering.
So Prabhupada is saying no one can say that they are completely free from suffering. You may have food to eat, you may have a house, nice house to live, you don't have any problems, you have a good health. But when in winter, if you go out without protection, you will suffer. If there is a cyclone, if there is a tornado, if you don't take a shelter, you will suffer. Even after taking shelter, sometimes you may not have power for 2-3 days. And when you don't have power, then when you don't have hot water or light, you will suffer. So no one can claim that he is not suffering. That is not possible because this material world is not designed like that. If you are sitting on a roller coaster, you cannot say that I'm going to sit on a roller coaster in the park, but you know what? You should not be turning me upside down. Can that happen? Can that happen when you sit on a roller coaster? Can that happen that they won't twist you, Joshna?
No.
No. When you sit on a roller coaster, you are bound to those kind of things. You have accepted, you have signed for that you will be turned upside down. Even if you vomit or if you get scared in the middle or if you don't want to do it, once you sit there, you cannot come down until it comes and stops, right? So similarly, this material world is not designed that you can claim that I'm not suffering, because there are three kinds of suffering. Some may be having one suffering, some may be going through any of these three kinds of suffering. The miseries that are arising from the material body and mind. So some of us may not be having healthy bodies. We may fall sick often, or we see so many people in this world suffering from different kinds of diseases. So they may be enduring cancer, or they may have some kind of disabilities or some kind of physically challenging. So they will face problems with the body. And we ourselves also may face problem with the body when we get sick, like when we get flu, when we get fever or something, we will be feeling very tired. So body, mind. Our mind also can cause problems to us. Like when somebody is scolding us or somebody is teasing us, then we feel very sad, right? Sometimes we feel sad, sometimes we feel happy. So we have sufferings based on our body and mind, sufferings from other living entities, like other family members, friends, animals. We get sufferings from other living entities. And also we get sufferings from the nature, like cyclones, tornadoes, all these things are also sufferings. So the three kinds of sufferings, these three kinds of problems, all of us, we may suffer mental anguish or we may suffer from other living entities, rain, flood. So these three types of miseries within the material world, and everyone is suffering from one or two or three of them. No one can say that he's completely free of suffering. So why? So what Guru is going to do us? Guru is going to help us to make us not suffer in this material world. Guru is going to tell us how we can escape suffering from these three kinds of miseries. So these are called three kinds of miseries: Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, and Adidaivika. And Guru's business, once we accept a Guru, once we choose a Guru, he is going to help us to come out of these sufferings. How and why, we're going to see. So next, Joshna, you want to read this?
Okay. From the start?
Yes.
Okay. We may then ask why the living entity is suffering. The answer is out of ignorance. He does not think I am committing mistakes and am leading a sinful life. That is why I am suffering. Therefore, the Guru's first business is to rescue his disciple from this ignorance. We send our children to school to save them from suffering. If our children do not receive an education, we fear that they will suffer in the future. The Guru sees that suffering is due to ignorance, which is compared to darkness. How can one in darkness be saved? By light. The Guru takes the torchlight of knowledge and presents it before the living entity enveloped in the darkness. That knowledge relieves him from the suffering of the darkness of ignorance.
Thank you, Joshna. So, why the living entity is suffering? Here the answer is out of ignorance. What is the ignorance, first of all? Because the living entity is actually spiritual. The living entity is not this body, but the living entity is trapped into this body. Like I gave the example of Alauddin, like they trap the ghost in the gas bottle. In a glass bottle, they'll put the ghost Atma and then they close it like that. The living entity is entrapped, is enveloped in this body. And this body is made of material, but the living entity is made of divine spiritual matter. And what is the nature of the living entity? What is the nature of the living entity? Does anybody know what is the nature of the living entity? Go ahead, Mihika. What is the nature of the living entity?
To serve Krishna's lotus feet and Radharani.
That is dharma. That is the dharma of the living entity. But what is the nature of the living entity? Like if I ask any one of you, what is the nature of crackers, or you will say that it is salty, its texture is like this, like that, you say, right? You describe. Go ahead, Pratyush.
To enjoy.
Yeah. Sat, correct. Sat, Chit, Ananda. The living entity is Sat, eternal, does not die. It's always there. Chit and Ananda, full of knowledge. There is no ignorance in the living entity actually. And Ananda, always blissful and happiness. But we are not like that right now, right? We are not always knowledgeable of everything that's happening, and we are not happy all the time. And we are also seeing that people are dying in front of us. So why is this happening? Because the living entity's nature is Sat Chit Ananda, but the living entity is trapped inside this body, and the living entity is thinking that, oh, I am this body. So this, when the living entity is thinking that I am this body, it is suffering actually. Because the sufferings are to the body. The birth and death are to the body, not to the living entity. Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter says that when somebody dies, the living entity just goes from one body to another body, like how you guys change your clothes at the end of the day. Why do you all change your clothes at the end of the day? Because they are spoiled, right? They are soiled. Because you are wearing them whole day. They have your sweat and all kinds of germs, and they become dirty. So you will remove them and you will take another set of clothes. Similarly, the living entity right now is wearing this body as a dress. So Mihika, whatever the living entity inside Mihika's body is wearing Mihika's dress. Pratyush's body is wearing Pratyush's dress. Joshna's body is wearing Joshna's dress. But actually the body is not the living entity. Inside the body, there is one divine thing that is actually we. We are right now wearing this particular dress. I am wearing this dress of a woman like this, with this kind of a face, this kind of eyes, this kind of ear, nose, and this kind of a nature. So the ignorance, that is the ignorance basically the living entity have. And the guru's business is to rescue his disciple and give him knowledge about this so that he will come out of the three kinds of sufferings. So when we have a guru, he helps us to come out of these three kinds of sufferings. How can we make the people see in the darkness? By putting the light. If we put the light automatically, let's say there is a rope, and you don't know before what is there in that room, and you entered that room and you are sitting in a sofa, and when you move your hands and leg, your leg touches a curly thing, and then it is very soft, it is touchy, then you may get scared. It may be moving, and then you may get scared. You may get scared thinking that, oh, what is that which is long? And you will try to touch and see. You will see that, oh, it is long, it is soft, it is touching. So it may be snake. Immediately you think of snake. But once somebody comes and puts the light, and when you realize that it is not really a snake, but it is just a soft rope, you won't be scared. So until somebody comes and puts the light, until the light comes on its own, like when power is off, you won't be knowing. Like when you go to a park or any other place and you sit down, and if something crawls next to you, what will you immediately do? You try to put light and see what it is, right? Without putting light, you won't be able to know what is that crawling, because it is dark. So the light helps you to know what it is actually. Similarly, the light which the spiritual master gives us, the knowledge which he gives us, helps us to know who we are. Are we this body, or are we this mind, or are we intelligence? What should I do and what should I not do? Spiritual master helps. So, Rishabh, do you want to read?
Yes, Mataji.
So let's give me a second. So do you all may get a doubt, because Mataji, I know English. I can read English, and I'm reading English, I can understand. Why do I need a teacher? I don't need a teacher. I don't need a teacher. So all of us think that we don't need teacher for spiritual things. We may need teacher for math, English, science, music, tennis. We need a coach for tennis. We need a coach for swimming. For all these things, we think that we need a teacher. But when it comes to spiritual subject matters, we think that, no, I don't need a teacher. It is not necessary for me to have a teacher. So for that, we are going to find out answer. Okay, Rishabh, go ahead.
Mataji, did I read the Sloka also or no?
Yeah, can you read the sloka?
Yes, I'll try.
Okay.
Tat vijna nartham saguram eva bhigachet samit pani srotriyam pramanishtam. The Vedas enjoin us to seek out a guru. Actually, they say to seek out the guru, not just a guru. The guru is one because he comes in disciplic succession. The real guru cannot be two, for the real guru does not speak differently from his predecessors. Although hundreds and thousands of acharyas have come and gone, the message is one. Bhagavad Gita. The genuine guru has only one opinion, and that is the opinion expressed by Krishna, Vyasadeva, Narada, Arjuna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the 6 Goswamis. Srila Vyasadeva did not speak it as this is my opinion. He spoke whatever Krishna spoke.
So the Vedas enjoin us to seek out a guru. So what are Vedas? We already discussed a lot of times that Vedas and scriptures are the manuals for the human beings telling how we should live in this material world. So the Vedas are telling that, Mundaka Upanishad is saying that we should seek a guru, and not just a guru. And how should that guru should be? The guru should come from a disciplic succession. Like we should be able to trace back him to Krishna. So here, if you see the disciplic succession from which you are all listening these lessons, all the classes that are happening in this group are coming from a disciplic succession of Brahma Madhava Sampradaya, Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya. Sampradaya means a disciplic succession. So So today I should not come and say, you know what, I have studied this, I am a gold medalist in this, so I am not going to, I understood better than what Prabhupada has understood. So in my opinion, this is what I think. So tomorrow Mihika may come and say that, Mataji, I'm studying in Harvard. So in my opinion, I'm more intelligent than you. So in my opinion, it should be like this. And tomorrow Raghav may come and say, Mataji, no, I was thinking, I was reading, I read in that, I feel like in my opinion, it should be like this. No, the Guru is somebody who will not speak to. He won't speak differently from the previous acharyas. So when you are choosing a guru, when you are listening to a guru, you should know whether that guru is quoting shastras or not, whether that guru is referring to the scriptures or not, or he keep framing his own interpretations and he's giving his own formulas. Do you find that kind of gurus in this world? Did you all know that there are some kind, if there are those kind of gurus? You all can unmute and answer. There are so many people, they claim themselves as God and they design their own religion and their own formulas and their own rules and regulations. You will find when you grow, if you pay attention, you will find those kind of people, those kind of philosophical books where they write their own interpretations, and you may be finding them very logical also, but you always have to have a yardstick to find out when you are accepting a guru. This is something you have to know, whether this guru is speaking same as Krishna, Vyasadeva, Narada, Arjuna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 6 Goswamis. All these people are called acharyas. Acharya means what? Does anybody know what is acharya means? Does anybody know? Teacher is one word. Did you say teacher, Joshna?
I kind of like said something related to like founding.
Okay. Anybody know the actual meaning of acharya means? Acharya for, okay, go ahead, Mihika. I can't hear. Go ahead.
You cut out. Can you repeat?
What does acharya means?
A spiritual teacher.
Can I repeat the question?
A spiritual teacher is right, but I want you to go deeper into that. Rishabh.
Like a mentor.
Mentor, okay. You're getting closer. How deep? More deeper? Think. So when your parents are teaching you numbers, do you think they know numbers before, that's why they are teaching, or they learned before, that's why they are teaching, or they just randomly teaching you?
They learned.
They learned, right? And they practiced writing it, right? If they are teaching you how to write A, B, C, D, that means they have practiced before how to write A, B, C, D, right? And then they are teaching. So acharya means a person who practices it and then teaches. Yattat acharati. He practices the instructions that are spoken in scriptures, and he has his own realizations and reflections, and he makes it better and brings it in a way understandable to the common people. Like if you are going and sitting in a science class or a math class, if you try to read the formula by your own, it sounds very difficult to you. But if a teacher who already knows it and has practiced it and has used it in solving many problems, comes and sits down and teaches you that, it looks very simple. So I don't know which grade all of you, do you all do the math counts, all those solving math problems and all those things? So when you solve the math problem, when you read a problem first, it looks very complicated to you. But if teacher explains how to break the formula, how to read it, how to understand it, and how to find out a clue in the question, it becomes easy to you. Because the teacher has practiced it, has implemented those formulas and came to a solution, he is able to guide you. So similarly, an acharya, a guru, a spiritual master is somebody who has practiced the instructions and then who is speaking about them. So there will be some kind of people you find, they will speak, but they don't follow. So you should not be going to those people. You should be going to the people who practices what they preaches. So a genuine guru, a real guru is somebody who doesn't speak differently from the acharyas, who doesn't come forward and say, acharyas are talking like that. But in my opinion, this is what I think. He should not be saying that. If somebody is saying that, then you have to understand that it's a red flag for you and you should not be accepting that person as a guru. A guru always says that acharyas are saying like this. Krishna is saying like this. Vyasadev, who is the compiler of the scriptures, is saying like this. So they should be always quoting the Shastras and the scriptures. Like how I quoted 15.6 earlier for all of you, when I said that spiritual world does not require any kind of a sun and moon. How I am saying that? Did I go to spiritual world, see and come and came back and told you all? No, I still did not go to the spiritual world. But what is the authority from which I am speaking? The authority from which I am speaking is Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because we have learned that Krishna has 6 appearances and there is nobody who is more knowledgeable than him. There is nobody who knows better than him. And when Krishna himself is saying something, that means that is authority. So a guru should not speak 2 kinds of things. He should never speak differently from acharyas and he should always quote acharyas. So whose turn next to read? Who wants to read? I think Mihika, you got a turn. Joshna got, Pratyush got, Rishabh got, Raghav got, Omkar. Okay, go ahead, Omkar.
Mataji, I did not get to read.
Oh, you read Kana. You remember Ettad Basayate Surya, that's what you read.
All right.
Yeah. Omkar, go ahead, Kana. What is the headline?
Guru does not misinterpret the words of Krishna. Consequently, Srila Vyasadeva is a guru. He does not misinterpret the words of Krishna, but transmits them exactly as they were spoken. If we send a telegram, the person who delivers the telegram does not have to correct it, edit, or add to it. He simply presents it. That is the guru's business. The guru may be this person or that, but the message is the same. Therefore, it is said that guru is one.
Wonderful. Thank you, Omkar. You did a wonderful job. So you all might not be knowing, but in our childhood, we used to have telegrams, postcards like that. Let's say if my mother is writing a letter to me and the postman is coming and putting that in my post box. So does the postman open the letter, read and correct it or edit it or correct the grammar in that or write it more better, or he may read it and say that, oh, this is a sad news, I should not deliver to this lady. Does he do any of those things? Does the postman? If they open our post and read, then it becomes a crime, right? Like they should not be doing that. What should they do? What should they do? What should a postman should do? What should a postman should do? Anybody?
Deliver mail.
Deliver mail. He should see this session, the Thursday session is interactive. We are all friends sitting, discussing, learning from each other. I'm also learning when I'm speaking with you all. And I want to know all of your opinions, all of your thought process, because I know you're all very smart kids and you all have your own opinions. Pratyush, you have raised your hand. Can you help? Can you speak, Kana?
A postman should not he should not get into anybody else's business, just mind his own by doing his work and delivering the mail.
Yeah, he should just deliver how he received it to us, right? He should not tamper in any way, any kind of things. The packages that we are getting from any of the posters or anything, they should just deliver to us. If I'm buying something from a shop, then the person should just bring it as it is to me and deliver it. So Guru also should be like that. Guru's business is just to deliver the message which Krishna Acharyas has spoken right in the way to us in the same way as they were spoken. He should not misinterpret them, or he should not put his own opinions. So the guru may be anybody. Like say it may be a man, woman, it may be anybody, but you always have to see the message. What the message that they are giving. The message that they are giving is Krishna's message or their own message. So you have to pay attention to the message. So a guru, the real business or the real guru, what he does, like a postman, he brings the message of Krishna to us. He brings the instructions of Krishna to us. He may be trying to explain to us the same instructions in a way we can understand them, but he should not be changing it at all. He should not be changing it. So that's the important thing. Guru does not misinterpret the words of Krishna. So we are focusing on all the things that a guru should have. Why? Because tomorrow in future, you all have to choose a guru. You should be knowing how to choose. If you are going to a shop, if you don't know what to buy, you get more confused. So these points that we are speaking today are very, very important. And Guru should deliver whatever the instruction that Krishna Vyasadeva is saying. And what is this? What is next? Who wants to read next? I don't know. Everybody got a turn. I think Nihal did not read. So Nihal, you want to read? I don't know if you will unmute and read. Nihal?
Mataji, his audio is not connected, so he can't hear you.
Oh, okay. So anyone else can take a second turn? I saw Pratyush and Rishabh and all. So I'll go with Pratyush and then I'll come back if I see Raghav also. We'll go and do that. Let me go with Pratyush first because I saw him first. Sorry for that. Okay. A repetition. That is what this side's thing is. Go ahead, Pratyush. After this, we will stop for today because it's already 6:50.
Okay. The bona fide guru will simply present what the supreme guru, God, says in a bona fide scripture. A guru cannot change the message of the disciplic succession. Evam parampara praptam imam raja sayo vidu sakalena mahata yogo nashta parantapa. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it appears to be lost.
So, evam parampara praptam. So, we have learned that a guru should come from a disciplic succession. He should be. So, we read guru should come from a disciplic succession. And then guru is absolutely necessary for us. Vedas are saying that we should seek a guru. And that guru should not misinterpret the scriptures and should should deliver the message in the same way as acharyas are speaking. So, for that, we are saying guru might be just repeating, like a parrot repeats the same thing. Guru might be repeating the same thing that Krishna, Vyasadeva and acharyas are saying. And that is the right way. That is the bona fide way to do that. So you all may be thinking that, oh, why it is repeating again and again? Why he is not saying something new? If somebody is saying something new, then you have to check it out. That is a red flag again. A guru just repeats whatever the supreme guru, God, Krishna says. So he should be repeating. So if I am speaking and if I speak something on my own, you all should check with me saying, Mataji, from where are you speaking this? Does Krishna speak like that? Can you give me the reference, Mataji? So this is something we all should ask when we sit and listen, because we all have limited time and energy. So having a right guru is very, very important to us. So we should be asking this question and knowing like from where they are speaking, what is their source. So when you all do researches in school, your school asks you, right? What is the source? Do they ask you? What is your source? From where you are saying this? You have to write that, what is that, bibliography, or what is that called? Like citations. You will do the citations and all those things when you do your projects, right? Like you will say, oh, this is the book I referred. This is a professor who is speaking about it. So similarly, even when you are listening to the spiritual subject matters, you should ask the person, if you see something is not correct, you should be asking for a reference. We should be speaking from a reference. And we should be just repeating whatever Krishna has spoken in the Bhagavad Gita. We have to just repeat that. Whatever Prabhupada has spoken, we have to just repeat it. Because Prabhupada is our Parama Acharya. So this sloka, Evam Parampara Praptam, is 4.2 from Bhagavad Gita. So I forgot to mention that here. So I'm telling you all, Evam Parampara Praptam. So you should receive the knowledge through the disciplic succession. So you have to find out what are the 4 bona fide disciplic successions. And to assure all of you, we are coming from Brahma Madhava Sampradaya, and it is called Gaudiya Madhya Sampradaya. And from there we are giving this knowledge, and we are speaking the interpretations or the translations of the acharyas in that parampara. So that is thing. So we will stop here. So today these are the points we understood. And what are the Bhagavad Gita slokas we have referred? This is the Guru mantra. Those of us, all of us can say this sloka so that we can get the mercy of Guru. Om Ajnanati Mirandasya Gnananjana Salakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. And we spoke about 15.6, which refers that spiritual world does not need moon or sun. And we speak about 3 types of sufferings, and Guru is going to help us come out of these sufferings. And Guru's business is to show light, to give us knowledge so that we can become intelligent and not behave ignorant. And we absolutely need a Guru, because Vedas are saying that we should seek Guru. Mundaka Upanishad is saying, and that Guru should be in a disciplic succession, and he should not misinterpret the words of Krishna, and he has to deliver the message of Krishna straight in way to us. And it may look like Guru is repeating, but he should repeat the teachings of Supreme Guru, Krishna, and that is the bona fide way. And the verse that we referred is 4.2 from Bhagavad Gita. So next week, we will continue further on this. Thank you all so much. Anybody has any doubts or questions or want to say anything or share anything, please go ahead.
Mataji, it was a very nice class. Thank you.
Thank you, Mihika. Pratyush, go ahead.
What were the 3 types of suffering again?
Adhyatmika, Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika. So sufferings that come from your own body and mind.
Yeah.
Sufferings from the other living entities like relatives, friends, family. They may sometimes cause you sufferings when they hurt you or do. And the sufferings from the nature, like tornadoes, floods, which are out of our control. So these are the 3 kinds of sufferings.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. So we will conclude here. May all of you have a wonderful evening. Mancha kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. May Lord Krishna bless you all with his causeless mercy, and may Lord Nasimha give his protection to you all and your family members. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.